So essentially, what Monte Carlo is doing is running the simulation multiple times to give us the calculation. How does that work, Perry?
Yeah, so these different tools have different configurations. I used the spreadsheet version that you're seeing here as a beginning point. Later, moving to a tool that was the actual Agile that Kevin mentioned earlier, and there's an option that you can choose that would tell you how many different simulations it would run. By default, it would run 10,000 simulations, but that was
Oh,
something you could adjust. And I mean, on occasion, I would experiment with running more to see if it changed the results. I could bump it up to 1 million, so it could run 1 million different simulations with the same input, and it doing that gave me greater and greater confidence with the answers it was producing. So, being able to do that so easily was a game changer. And
That's right.
the nice thing about a tool like the one we're looking at with, a spreadsheet is that it's free. It's out there and it's been made available to everybody. So there's really no excuse to not try this. It does require that you manually enter your results, your throughput data. And I think Wyatt showed an example of what that looks like just a minute ago. But that's not hard to do. I mean, it requires some bookkeeping on your end to keep track of that and then plug it in and run the simulations. But the nice thing with other tools like Actual Agile, it's integrated with tools you're probably already using, tools like Jira or tools like Combinize. They've already incorporated that as a third-party plugin. And with the client I was working with, we started doing this. That team was really struggling with estimates. They would spend days and days trying to, estimate the work, trying to get better and better estimates. And when we introduced Monte Carlo simulations, we could say, you don't have to carry that burden on your shoulders. We can look at the throughput of the team historically. We can run these simulations, and we can forecast a date range with a confidence interval, and that began a big significant change in the way the team worked. So being able to run not just a handful of simulations, but literally thousands of them or even millions of them gives you a lot of confidence that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, and I realize that we keep on saying this word simulations, and I just want to describe really quickly what it's actually doing. If we pull up slide 11 for a second, these are our throughput samples. These are the number of cars that we got done in each week, I would assume.
Yes.
And all it's doing in the background is it's rolling a dice and saying, okay, the dice roll was 6, so I'm going to pick 25. Roll a dice again, the dice roll was 6, so I'm going to pick 29. So that's the throughput that it chooses for each week. And then it says, okay, when we got to 100 things done, because that's what the number of things that we were forecasting, we're going to say we were done. We're going to track what week that was. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to roll the dice until we get to 100 things. Then we're going to do it again and again and again. And it does that 10,000 times. You could do this manually, right? I don't think anyone would enjoy it, but you could do it manually. So that's why these spreadsheets exist, to take off all of that rolling the dice.
And I love how it doesn't, it's not subject to either optimism nor pessimism. It just, one answer is as good as another. It just picks them randomly, mechanistically.
What I really like about using either the spreadsheet or the actionable agile, I've seen often that management stops asking the team, when will it be done? And they're simply just pulling up the chart to see how things are going. And so it takes that burden, what you said earlier, Perry. It takes the burden off the team. The team can focus on doing the best work that they can, as opposed to, I've got to hit this date, right? And then management can make some decisions on what they need to do in the background.
Yeah. One other comment about that. There's some interesting dynamics. You said it very well, Wyatt, that once this information becomes available to the team and to the stakeholders, it shifts the focus, and people, can look at that and say, okay, I have a date range, and let's say that the date range is acceptable. Well, it gives the team the freedom to continue to work. But you're right, you can run this like every day. You can run these simulations as often as you like, and there'll be a point when the date has moved, and as soon as the date begins to move, you're aware of it because the simulations are telling you now that you're not in a zone where you think where you would like to be, but it invites you to do something about it, right? And Kevin, you said it really well. I mean, we can add more people, we could reduce the scope, or change the date.
That's right.
So, but it puts the control back into the team, and into the stakeholders, and gives them the information they need to make informed decisions. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.